For this project, I did use 100% cotton yarn, and the recommended crochet hook there is a 5 mm or 8. However, I did use a G hook for the whole project. Only for the first foundation chain, I used a J hook. For the beads, I used a wooden beads from Walmart, and I used the smallest bead in the set. They have few colors in the box, and I got a smaller crochet hook, which is 3.25 mm, that can go through it, and I can pull my loop through the bead. So this bead is about 0.9 centimeters or about 9 mm, so a little less than a centimeter. So with your larger crochet hook, in my case J, start with a slip knot and make a chain as long as you want your bag to be. In my case, I did about a 30 inches of a chain. So after it shrunk after the first row, it usually that chain shrinks a bit. So I got about 24 inches of a bag. So when I fold it, I'll have about 12 inches in length of my bag. So you can make this bag, you can make that bag smaller or bigger depending on that first chain that you will make. So number of chains does not matter. You just go by the size of the bag you would like to make. So once you're done with the chain you want, you switch to your smaller hook. I did go a size smaller than the recommended on the label. Your every row will start with a turning chain, which will not count as a stitch. So here I decided on the length and I do my first turning chain. So into the next stitch, skipping that turning chain, or into the second stitch from the hook, I will do a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, draw a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all those loops on your hook. And you keep going till the end of your chain. So in order to help you with the tension, you can hold your loop with your thumb, yarn over, and hold that yarn over with your thumb again, and don't let it go so it doesn't grow bigger. And now draw a loop through your chain, and now you can draw through all those loops, letting them go as you pull through them. This way your thumb will help you control the tension on your hook. All right, so there it is. I'm holding my both loops, drawing a loop, and now I can let it go and pull through all of them. And you go working half double crochets till the end of your row. Once you reach the end of your row, we'll do our turning chain, we'll turn, and now we will be working into the back loop. So this will be our front size. And now we'll be working on the wrong size of the work. And we will not be going into the back loop of that V shape we have on top, but we're going to be going into that third loop that's under it. So if you look closely, there is one loop that goes right under those stitches on top. We will be going into that loop over here, over here. So yarn over, and we're still going to be doing half double crochets into that third loop. Yarn over again, we'll go into that third loop. This third loop helps us flip the front of the loops so they can look like a knit stitch. All right, and then we'll show you one more time. We'll go under that third loop and we'll keep going till the end of the row. So now we are at the end of the row and we do our first turning chain again. And when we work on the right side of our work, we will be working into the back loops of our stitches. So because the third loop is now here in the front, and we will be using to get the same effect by working into the back loops of the stitches. So we'll grab only the back loop, yarn over, work in the back loop of the stitch. And this is how our pattern will go, and that creates those stitches that go up and down on our bag. They look like knit stitches to me. All right, and I will show you how to do the beads now. All right, so after you keep repeating those two rows, working into that third loop, and in the next row working into the back loop of the stitches, now it's time for the beads. I made 12 rows of going back and forth. So when it's time to put the beads, I wanted to put beads only on the front of the bag. So I started crocheting from the other side, which will be the back of my bag, and there will be no beads here. So I will crochet into the back loop of the stitch till I reach the place where I want my beads to start. So working from here, going up, when I reach here, I will start adding my beads. This will be the top of my head, a bag, like that. So I put my beads on my hook so I don't have to constantly do them one at a time. I remove my hook, and then with grabbing the loop, I'll pull that loop through that bead that I need. And these will wait for the next time. I will tighten my loop just enough, but not too tight, so the bead can move. And I'll skip that stitch where the bead is supposed to be sitting. And into the next stitch, I'll do a half double crochet. So I'll yarn over, and into the back loop, I'll do my half double crochet just as I normally would do. And into the next stitch, I'll do one more half double crochet. And it's time for the new bead. I'll make my loop a tiny bit bigger because you'll just eyeball it. And I'll grab my next bead. And then I'll use my normal hook. And then I'll be ready for the next half double crochet. So I'll skip the next stitch, and into the next one, into the back loop, I'll do a half double crochet. And one more half double crochet into the next stitch, into the back loop again, and then the next bead. And I'll keep going till the end of the row, or as many beads you want to put. And after the last bead, I left 3 stitches just plain. And now a turning chain, and we turn, and into the back we will work again into that third loop under the stitches, and we'll do half double crochets there into each one. Once we reach the loop, the bead, into that loop that's under the bead, we will do 2 double crochets. And this pushes the bead up. So into the next stitch between the beads, we'll work again into the third loop behind. And into the loop behind the bead, we'll do 2 double crochets. And we'll keep doing that till we finish all the beads. And when we reach the end of the row here, we'll just keep working into that third loop, so the pattern just goes as normal. In between the rows with the beads, I have 3 rows of half double crochets. So again, I will crochet 3 rows till the next row of beads, and then I will crochet exactly the same number of these rows on the other side, and I'll have a perfectly symmetrical bag. Once you end your bag, it's time to connect the sides. So fold your bag inside out. We will do slip stitches between the posts of the work, grabbing a post from each side of the work. So starting from between the posts, insert your hook through the first one, and then insert your hook through the back side, draw a loop, and keep pulling that same loop through the loop on your hook. And we'll keep doing that till the end of the row, and then we'll attach a yarn to the other side and do the same thing to the other side. And that's how we'll connect both sides of our work. Once I connected the sides, I went at the top and I added single crochets into each heart stitch that appeared here. And I crocheted a little bit loosely that first row. And after that, just rows of single crochets. So the single crochet is we insert our hook, we grab our yarn, pull a loop, and then pull through the 2 loops we have on our hook. And I went like this for about 2.5 inches. Once I was done with my desired length, the last row will decided to be just slip stitches into each stitch. This gives it a little bit of finished look. So a slip stitch is insert your hook, draw a loop, and pull the same loop through the loop on your hook. And just like that, just for 1 row all around the bag. And this is the last finishing touch we are doing here. And we end up the row with a slip stitch into that first slip stitch we did. And that's all for this. And now it's time to add the straps. For the straps, we'll start with the slip knot here. We'll chain 8. For the strap, I'm switching to 3.5mm crochet hook so I can make it tighter. After chaining 8, I'm doing my turning chain, and into the second chain from the hook, I'll do single crochets all the way till the end of the row. It will be a little bit tighter with the smaller hook, but that's what I want, so the strap does not stretch much. And you can always go and check my video how to line a strap so it doesn't stretch at all, especially if you have acrylic yarn. It tends to stretch a little bit more, but with the cotton it's a little bit less. So I can line that strap as well, or I can put a string of cotton yarn just when I'm done, and it will prevent it from stretching much. So here my turning chain at the beginning of the next row, turn my work, and into the same stitch I'll do my single crochets all the way till the end. And I'll do a turning chain again, and I'll keep going the length I want. Make sure you leave a longer tail so you have enough to sew the strap when you're done. And the way I'll find my position here of the strap is I will measure my top of the bag. It's 27 centimeters. I'll divide it in 2, which is about 13, and then divide it in 2 more, which is about 6, and that's where I'm gonna make the middle of my strap. Will be sitting here. So all around here will be my strap, and I'll do the same thing on the other side, and I'll do 1 more strap, and I'll do the same thing on the back, and that will be it for this bag. And then it will be time to line it with fabric and add a zipper. So make sure you watch those videos next. If you like this video or gave you an inspiration or you learned something new, make sure you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Bye!